So the next presidential GOP primary debate is at the University of Alabama and seen here exclusively on NewsNation tomorrow night. As per usual, younger voters are not expected to turn out in the numbers that we saw even just 4 years ago.
And according to a Harvard Kennedy School poll, 49% of 18 to 29-year-olds definitely plan on voting for president come 2024. That is down from 57% who said the same thing during the fall of 2019. The actual turnout among that age group in 2020 was 50%. So let's bring in our NewsNation newsmakers to get their takes. Today, we have Kurt Bardella, Dr. Liberty Vittert, and Niall Stanage. Kurt, let me just start with you here on this one. How do you read this? Is just speaking to the double doubters and those who can't bring themselves to vote for either Trump or Biden next year?
I mean, I think that this is just an illustration of the frustration that a lot of people have with the two choices right now. And the bottom line is, it's really not going to change between now and next year. And I think that once we get into the fall campaign, again, remember, we're a year out from this thing. So I don't really pay too much attention to polls like that. I think that the specter, particularly of Donald Trump running for president, being present every day in every news cycle, flooding our airwaves 24/7, flooding our feeds 24/7, I think that will inspire voters, at least on the Democrat side, those young voters to turn out and vote, because no one has had a more mobilizing effect on Democratic Party turnout than Donald Trump over the years.
Well, I want to talk to our statistician here, Liberty Vittert, about these particular numbers. Maybe impressive that Harvard decided to focus on this group, but over the years, I mean, we've really only seen 50%, maybe at most 55% on average for young people age 18 to 29. At least we're not seeing the kind of apathy we saw in 1996 and 2000, where it plummeted to like 39%.
Absolutely. And Kurt, I think you're right. You know, we're a year out from this. Like, I think it's pretty amazing what the numbers are. And you also have to remember, Trump isn't president. He isn't tweeting every day. He isn't saying crazy things on Twitter. We don't have the media hourly telling us how terrible Donald Trump is. So a lot of the young voters have not yet been motivated to come out. So I think we're going to see something maybe very different, especially given that 69% of young voters say that their vote for Biden is actually more of a vote against Trump.
Yeah, to your point, most young voters, 69%. said that who support Biden over Trump said that their vote is more in opposition to Donald Trump becoming president again than support for President Biden. Niall, don't you think that also goes to adults too? I mean, take a look at social media in 2020. There was so much anti-Trump rhetoric, so many posts just about, you know, the pro-Biden-Harris ticket. And in the past 4 years, where have those accounts been? They've been silent. I feel like this is adults and young voters alike.
Yeah, I think that is a fair point, but I do think it is more of a sharpening trend among younger voters. Kurt mentioned the idea that Democrats or Democratic-leaning voters are going to be motivated once Donald Trump is front and centre. I agree with that, but what it also speaks to is a lack of enthusiasm for President Biden. Remember, Markie, younger voters were never in love with then-candidate Biden all that much anyway when he was first running. Then you put on top of that topics that younger voters typically care a lot about, such as climate change, for example, or the student loans issue, where the president has taken some action, but not enough to really sort of inspire younger voters. And of course, the current conflict in the Middle East is extremely divisive, extremely so among young voters in particular.
Well, and speaking of those young people, I mean, we're talking about the 18 to 29 group. So, I mean, they're not little kids. I mean, these are college students and graduates who could possibly be the next leaders of tomorrow. And many of them on college campuses voicing their concerns, voicing their outrage, depending upon what side of the coin they're on. But anti-Semitism not to be ignored. There's this new Harvard, or rather there's this new actual hearing that's going to be happening on Capitol Hill today. College presidents will have to address this. Niall, this isn't just an issue that splits between parties. This is an issue that is splitting the Democratic Party.
Very much so. It's a huge wound in the Democratic Party, and because it splits pretty much down the middle. And of course, this is literally a life and death issue. So that's obviously massive and is potentially politically damaging for President Biden.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.